up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. Mr. Famous, aka Streets Need a Body, aka Sean, aka Don't Make Me Do This, Freddy. It didn't have to be this way. Has officially called his first body. He was a little bit scared, but he got the job done, and we might potentially have a witness. But we want to know, how is this going to come back? Is it going to link to Famous? Is it going to go to Bulletproof Records? Is Kanan going to be involved with it? Because everybody has touched that community pistol that Palmer had. Now, before we jump into this and see what Famous is about to get into, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions, hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell. Make sure you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, young Famous, he needed to go out there. He needed to get this money because rent is due and he don't know how he's gonna pay for it. But Famous, this is bad.
You the heir to this throne, Kanan, and it's waiting for you if you want it.
Give me what you got, nigga. Open that shit up, we going inside.
Why the fuck would I do that?
Cause I'm gonna wet your ass up, that's why.
Oh, you ain't gonna do shit, Famous. I know it's you, motherfucker. Bitch ass voice.
Come on, just open that shit up. You don't gotta go like this.
As soon as you pull that shit out, it's gonna be like this.
What you just witnessed was Famous taking out Freddy. Now, he went to go rob Freddy, and you're probably wondering why. Why did he really have to do this? Well, in the beginning of the episode, you remember Famous woke up and the landlord was saying he needs the rent. Famous didn't have it. He has 2 days to collect money to come over to the landlord and let him know, hey, here is the rent. I am good to go. The only thing is he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have a job. So he tells the landlord, I can get you some studio time over at Crown Studio. And he's like, all right, we can make that happen. But if not, I need that money in 2 days. Kanan doesn't have a job either. And we know that he moved into Famous's house because he didn't want to be around Raquel. So Famous not having the rent money is going to be a problem for him because he needs somewhere to stay unless he's going to be at Malcolm's house. Now, you remember, he's the one that got Famous up on his feet. He stole some drugs. They put it on the block, made some money. He also stole some money. So he's going to give Famous a couple $100 just to hold him over until he gets the rest of the rent. But right now, Famous, we haven't seen him do anything since he moved in this apartment, but just sit in this filthy apartment. Famous has to get this money some way, somehow, or he's out of a place to stay. His mama's not letting him back in. Now he's out, he's thinking. And when they see Freddy in here, you remember, Freddy is the one that they robbed because he robbed Kanan. They had to go get that get back and they got the gun for Palmer. Now, Famous sees him in the pizza shop and he's a little envious because he knows Frederick doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything, he robs people. But he has all of the clothes and he has money to get food. So he wants what he got. And you know, Kanan is telling him, but you don't want to live like that. Freddy is really living the grimy life. A little bit better than what Famous is living, but it's still grimy. One thing I noticed when I went back and watched episode 6, they're actually hinting at what was to come with Famous going to get the gun from Corinne, because they started building a relationship and they were actually talking to one another when Kanan went in the kitchen to get the gun. So they were putting hints out there, but we didn't know where it was going to take us, especially not to Famous going to get a gun and doing what he did. When you look back, Kanan, before they went to go get their get back with Frederick, he went and got the gun from Palmer. This is the same gun that Famous is going to use to shoot Frederick. So we do know that Kanan's fingerprints are on here, but when they go over there, something else comes up when they're trying to get all this money and dope back from young Frederick. There's a neighbor that walks by and he sees what's going on inside of this room. So we know that he sees Frederick. We know that he sees Kanan. We know that he sees Famous. And in the shooting scene, we also seen that a door opened up. So maybe this is the neighbor that actually witnessed all of it. Of course, he wasn't going to say nothing when they just beat him up. But a shooting in front of his door, that could be something he needs to tell the police about. I heard a name called Famous. Right now, Famous doesn't have anything to lose. So he goes to Corinne's house, woke up in the middle of the night, and he wants her mama's gun. Because the same way him and Kanan went over there, he's thinking he's going to go over there. But the only thing is, he's going to rob Frederick of what Frederick has. Now, Corinne, she doesn't want any parts of this, but she says, I'll give you the gun. But if something happens, Famous, I'm telling them you stole it. So this is also bad for Famous Because if anybody starts asking around, Corinne says she's going to tell if anything is on that gun. From what Corinne has seen of how Famous is living, she should have known not to give that gun to him, especially after Famous said, "Come on, Corinne, let me get your mom's gun. I'm not going to use it and do like Kanan just to smash your mom." So anything that Famous needs a gun for, you already know it's about to lead to big trouble. And that's exactly what it led to, and put Famous in a situation that it might be tough for him. Streets need a body, and he might be that new victim. None of us expected Famous to go over here and actually catch a body. We thought he was going to rob him, get a couple $100s, pay his rent, go on about his business. But it didn't turn out that way. Freddie knew it was Famous. He could tell by the voice. He said he was soft, he ain't going to do nothing. But he kept mentioning Famous's name. But once he showed that gun, Famous did what any of you would have did. Famous let loose, and RIP to Frederick. But that door next door, it cracked open. So I'm sure he heard everything that was going on in this hallway, because it's the middle of the night and it wasn't any other noise going on outside. Now this is where things are very, very bad for our boy Famous. The neighbor heard his name Famous. Corinne said if anything happens on that gun, she's going to tell. And also, if you can remember, Sam mentioned Famous name to Detective Burke. So Detective Burke could easily be looking into him. That could link to the murder. Famous could end up folding and talking about Kanan, something that Lulu's done, something that Marvin or Rock. So right now, if Famous can't get away with this, it's going to be very, very ugly. Now, he can't get rid of this gun because it is Palomar's. And if Palomar's looking for it, she's going to ask Corinne. Corinne's going to say it's Famous, and she could bring it up to the police. So right now, Famous is really back against the wall, and he needs to figure things out, especially because we don't even know if Bulletproof Records is going to let him back in the studio to record anything because of all the drama they got going with Crown and Cartier being killed. All right, which one of these you think is going to come back and bite Famous in the butt? Is it going to be Corinne telling about the gun, Famous's name being mentioned in that murder, or Detective Burke doing her investigation from the information she got from Sam? One of these things are going to be connected to Famous, and if anybody folds, I could see it being him, but I don't know if they're going to let him fold. I think the Thomas family might have to take him out before that happens. Let me know what you think. I'm Modi J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.